Now, a beautifully twisty road, a lovely day, they both beg a very good sports car. But which one? Here are driving's top picks in a number of different price categories, including used. When the Mazda Miata was introduced, it breathed life back into a bygone era. It was what the MGB should have been all along. Its key asset was and still remains the fact that driver and car work as one for the betterment of both. It does not have big horsepower, so it's really only adequately fast, but that doesn't matter. The plus is it can be pushed to the very edge and brought back into line at will. This attribute makes a mortal driver feel like an F1 pilot. Of course, it is the epitome of impractical with tiny dimensions and a trunk to match, but who cares? During the heated debate about which was the best used sports car under 20k, the Ford Fiesta ST repeatedly surfaced. It offers Miata-like driving fun, it's quick and dialed in through a corner. It also adds a degree of hatchback versatility. The Subaru BRZ and Toyota 86 are one and the same with very minor cosmetic and packaging differences. While some will lament the fact that the engine lacks a turbo and the urgency it would add to the drive, the overall experience is impossible to dismiss. The execution is beautiful in its simplicity and it has a dynamic balance that begs to be exploited. The rear drive format allows it to be tossed into a corner without fear of it biting back. In the end, the feel and precision of its handling put the two at the top of the class. The nit is the flat 4 boxer and its power is middling for a sports car, as is indicated in the 7.4 second run to 100k. However, find a track and the handling allows the two to overhaul some much brawnier competition. When the quirky 4-door Hyundai Veloster arrived, its paucity of power led me to dub it the Slowster. Anything that suggests velocity should at least have a little. Yes, the addition of a Turbo 4 did liven things up, but it was not until the Veloster N arrived that it earned some serious street credibility. Part of the reason is the man behind the N brand, one Albert Biermann. He rose to fame as the leading light at BMW's M division, and he's not the type of engineer to accept second best. This trait shines through the N's makeup. It's truly tenacious through a corner, and it's very quick, blasting to 100 km an hour in 5.6 seconds. Bonus points for the fact it actually sounds the part in the process. When Honda launched the Civic Type R, it gave Canada the forbidden fruit so many had lusted after. It's a supreme ride that lives up to its hyper-billing and then some. The heart and soul is the 2-litre Turbo 4 and the 306 horsepower it twists out. The beauty is the power band is sustained over the entire operating range. The wish, however, is for an exhaust note with more bark. While its acceleration time is similar to the more affordable Veloster N at 5.7 seconds, the difference and key advantage is that Type R catches fire through the mid-range. Throw in an adaptive suspension and millimetre-precise steering that's devoid of torque steer, and the Type R shows a clean set of rear tyres to all pretenders. Another very popular name in this category was the Kia Stinger GT. It is first and foremost a family sedan. However, it's got the practicality of a hatchback and it's got lots of power. Better yet, if you select sport mode, 80% of the drive goes to the rear wheels. That means it can be drifted with authority. In other words, it's also a proper driver's car. The under $60,000 category is arguably the most difficult. If you move up about 5k, you can actually get into the likes of a Porsche 718 Cayman. However, at this price point, the Mustang is the best. Nick T picked the Mustang GT Premium with the Performance Pack 2 and Safe and Smart packages aboard. I opted for the Bullet. It gets an extra 20 horsepower for a total of 480 and much of the GT350's paraphernalia, but at a more realistic price. Regardless of the model, the modern Mustang brings the muscle car era into the here and now. It dances its way through a corner and runs to 100k in 4.9 seconds. Of course, very few can match the throaty bark the pipes elicit whenever the hammer's down. So there you have it, 5 very different sports cars, but they all have one thing in common, and that's the ability to tackle a twisty road and leave a smile on the driver's face. The other thing they do, well, going to the grocery store is no longer such a mundane chore. I'm Graham Fletcher for Driving.ca.